No, but the thing is, there are like positive influencers and there's like negative influencers. I used to be a little negative in PvP for sure, but I try to not like hate too much now. But dude, there are the numbers of like haters are growing. I think it's just easier to hate. And if you bandwagon with them, you get their favor and they like you more. But I haven't been hating on a lot of games recently. Like, what's the last game I hate? Probably Dark and Darker. That's it, right? I always say Dragonflight. I don't think it's bad. Classic WoW is fun in its own way. I enjoy FF, Lost. Like, I enjoyed every game in a certain way. So I try to not show like too much negativity. Yeah, it's just better to be negative, man. Because everyone can hate the game, right? It's easy to hate. A good example is like League of Legends players. It has one of the highest player bases. Or even CSGO, right? CSGO, there's a bunch of players. They all complain that the game sucks, but they play it anyways. But they're all just hating it. You guys understand where I'm going at with this, right? It's like, fuck, I'm stuck at Silver 2. But I'm stuck here because the game sucks. It's not my fault, it's my teammates' fault. And it's just like a line of complaints. But they never like look at their own problems. I think when I was coaching Arena, that was like the #1 common rule. Like, oh, my partner sucks, so I'm stuck at 1400. It's like, dude, okay, let me see your gameplay. They don't line aside any burst. They just take it in the face. They're using their cooldowns wrong. They're using defensives like randomly. Playing awful, basically. And it's like the whole team's fault. It's not just one person's fault. And then people get mad at the casual players. When casual player says like, oh, I still have fun with the game. And then they go like, oh, dude, see, this is the casual people's fault. Like, how can they say they enjoy the game when the game is so bad? But I'm gonna be honest, I don't play competitive anymore too. I think playing casual is way more fun, man. Way more fun. It's just confusing to the developers, man. Like arena, raiding, everything's confusing. If they make the raid too hard, they say, oh, the raid's way too easy, the game sucks. If the raid's too hard, they're like, oh, the raid's way too, you know. It's always one or the other. And I remember in PvP exactly for World of Warcraft, PvPers kept complaining that the MMR was way too easy to climb and everyone's getting like fat MMR. So Blizzard nerfs that.
My cousin, have a nice day.
And then Blizzard nerfs MMR. And then next season, everyone's like, oh my god, we're not getting any MMR or any CR. It's like, dude, what are you guys asking for? Like, do you guys want less MMR or more MMR? Like, what the fuck do you guys want? And they're always mad about something, right? I feel like it's just so confusing. There's like different group of people. And some of them are like obviously super right and some of them are like super wrong. And then there's other people that just consume the video and just say, oh, this big streamer said it, I guess he's correct, the game sucks. But then that big streamer barely plays the game. Yeah. It's weird, man. We're in like a weird treadmill right now. It's not just WoW community though. This isn't every other game, chat. This isn't every other game. That's every other game. Almost every game's like that. Belver, thank you for the 22 month, and Peaceful, thank you for the tier 3. Holy moly. And Roy, thank you for the tier 1 as well. Thank you all boys.
Honored cons, we have spotted a war band of Nakut
Big streamer that barely plays the game, Asmin. I feel like Asmin puts in a fair amount of time in the games he tried, but yeah, there are a lot of people that monk ass, man. Game is changing. It's just hard. I think it's hard for the developers, man. It's hard. And then the whole like pay to win thing is like a different topic, right?
We must assume the Nokud want to destroy the horn to prevent us from calling the green.
Imagine not playing video game for fun and just hate everything. Yeah. And MMOs are just harder to survive. If you're playing Elden Ring, you just do one playthrough and you're like, wow, that game was fucking good. That was a bomb ass game, right? But if you play an MMO, it has to go through continuously, right? Yeah. So it can't be good forever. Like the start of the expansion will be kind of fun, but then after that it's like slowing down a little bit, right? That's why MMOs get shit on. I feel like Riot MMO is gonna be good too, but there's gonna be a lot of haters for Riot MMO too, man. Yeah. And last thing, going back to what I said, if you play casual, you have fun, but if you play too much, you end up hating the game, because either you run out of things to do because you've rushed everything, or you've done it so much, you see all the flaws, and if the flaws don't get fixed fast, you get pissed off about that, right? Like obvious things they need to fix. So that's hard too. That's hard too. Just the other stuff. That's the thing though, like some people just want a PvP. Like I could name 20 WoW streamers that only PvP. And there's some that only PvEs. And some of them only mount farms. Like they have a category they like and they don't want to do anything else. Like nothing else is fun to them. So they want more of that. And that's very hard. Games are designed to squeeze as much money out of you as well in the short space of time, not to keep your attention long as possible. I think it goes both ways. Yes, the company wants to squeeze out the most, and yes, there are still a few passionate workers, but how much can they do, right? I've talked to a lot of developers and most of them they have a lot of bright ideas, but it just doesn't get executed. Good example is they wanted to make a bunch of World of Warcraft battleground modes with a lot more objectives, like crazy objectives, and it sounded super fun. One of them was the silver mine. You can only turn the cards in that game, but there was a way to like farm traps and set up traps and more options in the battleground. It sounded fun, but the company just doesn't fund them, right? And when the expansion goes out, they have like a fund of PvP money, PvE money. Like, there's a budget. And if it goes over budget, they can't do it. Back then, when WoW was like first made, I'm sure they just poured in all their time because they were super passionate about the game. But now that they're like tied to other companies, they can't do that much. So it sucks. Ashran, yeah, some people loved it, some people hated it. It is what it is, man. Small companies make good games, get bought off by big companies. Game franchise gets ruined by big companies. Less and less small companies create game with passion. Yeah. The thing is, it's hard. It's hard to not fall in that trap. It's hard. Because they probably want to make a lot of money too. They've been working on the game a long time and they sign up and they're like, fuck. Alright, time to quit now. Right? It's kind of like when I get gambling sponsors. Bro. They offer me like 40k, 50k, but I don't take it. Because I'm not into that, you know? I don't want to sell gambling to you guys. It's a lot of money, but I just don't want to do that kind of shit, right? I think it's the same thing with developers. I think they get offered a lot of money, and it's hard to say no when it's that much money. It's very hard. That's why you see a lot of streamers gambling. It's just so much, man. And I can understand like why they take it. And if you're a bigger size than me, dude, you probably get way more offer. Way more. Maybe in the future, if I'm broke, chat, I might start gambling. But not now, okay? Not now. Yeah, not now. If I fall, if I start gambling, you guys know what happened, okay? I needed the money, okay? But for now, I'm not broken yet. I'm not broken yet.
We have saved who we can. We must get through Balakar's lieutenant, Kari, to reach the hole.
Alright, no Kund. Yeah, MMO, at the end of the day, last thing. One last thing. I know I said last thing earlier. MMOs is very hard to keep people happy. I don't think it will ever make anyone happy. It's just too hard. It will have its up and downs. There will never be an MMO where everyone will be happy. The only games that will get praised is just one playthrough story, where the developers can work on their game, kind of like God of War, Elden Ring, Devil May Cry, or Final Fantasy 16. Like, one story done, and you're like, damn, that was good. It's kind of like anime too, where the anime, they know when to stop. I know it's hard to stop, but sometimes you gotta just put the lid on the bottle and call it end. And people remember that as, damn, that was good. But MMOs is just it ongoing. Like, they need to keep fueling because people invested so much, like achievements, mods, everything, right? It's the same for every MMO, man. FF, Lost Ark, every game, they just need to keep fueling it. So
Well met.
it's not going to be fun always. It will have its up and downs. Just remember that. Even Riot Games, everyone's hyped about. I'm super hyped for it. I'm going to have fun with it. But it's going to have its up and downs too, and people are going to shit on it. Like, any little thing they fuck up, people are just going to shit on it. Because that's the trend right now. Just shit on everything you can. Yeah. That's how it is, man. Can appeal to every type of gamer. Gamers need to choose a niche. Yeah. Story games, people will praise. MMOs, very hard to get praised. That's how it is, boys. That's how it is.